Welcome back. If you just joined us, this is The Press. We're reaching you live from KAFTAN's television studio here in the nation's capital, Abuja. Now we'll go straight to analyzing the stories that we read out to you earlier. And my guest on the show today is Obadiah Mbila, who is the CEO of Lovewalk Media. Great to have you on the show today, sir.
Thank you, Annabel, for having me.
Great, and you look quite different today. I'm sure our viewers will say, "Oh, is this?"
I decided to make a personality makeover.
All right, so viewers, our phone lines are open. You can call in to make your contributions or ask your questions. Remember, you only have 1 minute for every call or every contribution or question you would like to ask. All right, let's go straight to our headline this morning. Quite a number of stories, but then let's begin with the abducted school children that were just released. New Telegraph says 3 days to 1 billion naira ransom deadline. Troops rescue 137 abducted Kaduna school children. And the writer to that story says DHQ confirms support from local authorities and government agencies. Parents says they had sleepless nights, and then some of the children, they've been turned orphan because some parents even died of the trauma. And government is saying they're deploying strategies to ensure safety in schools. That's coming from President Tinubu. And then on the flip side, you have Abbas Atiku, Obi laud release and urge enhanced security. IGP special anti-kidnapping squad deployed in Kaduna. But then if you check the leadership newspaper, it says as troops rescued 137 pupils, controversy trails the number of abducted Kuriga school children. Governor Sani says it is 137 instead of 287. Rescued victims spent 18 days in capital den, and they may reunite with their family. But then military takes credit, but then keeps silent on payment, ransom payment. Let's get your thoughts in this regard.
Let us all welcome this cheery news, the release of the abducted students, Kuriga students. It's quite a welcome news. We want to congratulate the military and those that were involved in the rescue operation. We also want to empathize with the parents of these children. Only God knows the extent of trauma they have endured during this crisis. However, as it were, no story line for what was done behind so that these children could be released by the abductors. Was any ransom paid? Did the troop engage the captors? Were they able to apprehend any of those captors? Very, very intriguing is the fact that these children were taken from Kuriga in Kaduna State to a faraway bush in Zamfara State. Question: do we have military security posts along the road that leads from Kaduna to Zamfara State? If we do, why? How come that these children were not intercepted? How come that there were no security intelligence when these children were ferried from Kaduna to Zamfara? This is one problem I have in the security issues and challenges that is ongoing in the north. It seems to me that some of the elites are implicated in the whole transaction. And therefore, when it happens, there is a way someone who knows someone who knows someone who knows the abductors will be brought into discussion. And the conversation will end up, please release these people at a certain negotiated amount.
What exactly made you make that submission, especially that some elites are involved? Who are these elites you're talking about?
Yeah, you see, when you study the style of the operation of these people, and become very interested in how people are released, you discover that there is a big man involvement in the process, and it saddens my heart. Look at the children that were abducted from Kaduna. Then we didn't have any indicator or any sign to show that in the process of ferrying them from Kaduna to Zamfara, there were road blocks where
checkpoints.
Checkpoints where a policeman or a soldier gave information that these children has been driven past here.
So is it possible that they might have been ferried through the bushes? They are just long bushes from Kaduna straight to Zamfara state?
That looks impossible.
Ah.
Because it is not going to be a thing of motorbike.
Okay.
Put the children in a motorbike so that you can take the bush path. So at least you need 2, 3, 4, 5 buses, maybe ferrying at different times so that no eye will spot them. But if a bus loaded with children could pass a bush, let's say it's a bush, and the villagers were not able to detect that this bus is loaded with children, and therefore give information to whoever that can give information to those that are in charge, then we are in trouble.
We are in trouble.
So while I welcome the Cherry News, I am troubled that what is happening appears to be an arranged thing.
Why do you think so? So who would want to arrange anything at all? The government or the security officials or the community people?
So take the security officials out of this.
Okay.
I think that there are some big names that are involved in this business. And they are yet to disabuse my mind. Because if they have told us that the children were rescued after gun battle with the abductors, I will begin to think that yes, this is a purely military thing, and they have done very great. They have done. They are patriotic enough to rescue these children. But here, there was no sign of any military operation. Yes, they may be intelligent. They have been following for some time. And if this intelligence finally led them to Zamfara, I am saying, and saying it on air, that there is something fishy about this transaction. There is something that is not very clear about this transaction. It simply makes me get worried even the more that there are people that knows people that are involved in this business. Therefore, when it comes to a much publicized abduction like this, then
all right, let's quickly take this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Collins calling us from Otupo, Benue State.
Collins from Otupo, Benue State.
Great, go ahead.
I want to applaud our analyst today. Since the inception of this program, I've never heard any person that is speaking the mind of the masses just like he do today.
thank you.
You see, maybe if we look to this bandit of a thing and the terrorist of a thing, you happens to know that all these things are done through the big wings, people that are above the laws. You see, if I don't know if this, I have to applaud this government for especially the government of Tinubu, because there are so many things that he has done, more especially when they asked him to come and negotiate. He bitterly and angrily told them he is not going to negotiate. That is the right thing to do. Okay, look at all these things that is happening. 200 and something children being adopted. Pass through which way? Which route? Is it true they just disappear to a particular particular area and kept them. No. This thing there's something has to be done. If only this government wants to stop this thing once and for all, I believe they can stop it. Look at even people that are not even adopted. The problem we are facing now is even more than those that are even adopted. The nation is in shambles. Something must be done.
All right.
Everything is. I don't know why each time any government came, there must be a fight just to disrupt the arrangement. I mean, the plans of that government. And God will surely get to handle all these people that are responsible for all these things.
Amen.
The earth is speaking against them already.
All right.
And God will do them up.
Thank you so much. Collins from Otukpo, Benue State.
Yeah. Wow. So, talking about the number again, I didn't want this data thing to bother me. We were told that about 287
yes,
were adopted. Who gave this number to the government of Kaduna State? How did Governor Obasani came to tell us that 287 pupils or students of Kuriga School has been adopted? And by Sunday morning, he recanted and now declared that these pupils were 137. So, why I wouldn't want it to bother me is that we don't even know the number of those that are holding our national identity number. We don't even know the number of those that are called civil servants in Nigeria. We don't even know, we don't have any authentic data to rely on when it comes to data. So that of the students of Kuriga will not be different either. But we should also get interested to know, why can't our government step up effort to make sure that we have authentic data base? It is very, very important.
Okay, so doesn't it actually even bother you, the fact that it's always, why always Kaduna? Even despite the fact that that's like a military hub where you have most of the military armament. During the El Rufai administration, it's either one school in Kaduna State, but now again, same Kaduna again.
Have you now come to the intriguing part of the entire scenario? I have said that I'm satisfied that the children has been released, but the process of releasing them begs for more explanation. The truth about what is happening in Kaduna as the epicenter, for me, is that someone is offering a helping hand to these terrorists around Kaduna. Not just someone, some group of powerful individuals are behind them so they can become the devil. Imagine stopping a train on the way and abducting passengers of the train, Kaduna. Imagine the so-called gunmen getting into Nigerian Defense Academy, and the devils were able to take their time to finish their business, Kaduna. And we can go on and on to count the number of insecurity issues from Kaduna. Is it that those behind them are residing in Kaduna? Or is it that they just change the epicenter from Maiduguri, that's Borno, Yobe, to Kaduna? So much question is begging for answer. And I want to appeal to our security agents. Help to douse the curiosity that is now ongoing among reasonable human beings in Nigeria who are not satisfied with the way this war against insurgency is being carried out. Right. We need to become more transparent. I quite agree that this issue involves intelligence that should not be shared publicly. But let the way the operation is being conducted helped to reinforce our confidence in the process.
All right, let's stay on security. What are your thoughts with regards to, before now we were hearing they were going to come up with state policing, restructuring in terms of state policing, and then I remember former President Muhammadu Buhari gave thumbs down to state policing, but this current administration said, okay, they're going to bring up state policing. But now it looks as if it's looking as if that story, we're not hearing it anymore, even though I saw a particular headline that says Lagos State is ready for state police coming from the Attorney General. But then looks like we're no longer talking about that again.
Yeah, actually, state policing is not just what you do a la carte. You don't just go to the shop and buy state police. It's not an issue where a governor from a state would say, okay, I'm going to raise my own police. No. It is a statutory matter that needs to pass through the National Assembly. It requires the amendment of the 1999 Constitution that vested the power of policing in Nigeria on the IG. So what this means now is that I think the debate has been brought to a very high level where people have bought into it.
Okay.
Now what is required is no longer the debate whether or not. It's like if you come out today and say you don't want state police, you look odd. Therefore, what is expected of National Assembly is to move into action. Thank God that the process of constitutional amendment is ongoing already. So what they are expected to do now is to look at the Constitution where it mentioned everything about policing, so that amendment to allow states to raise their own police will come in. There is also the Police Act. Very, very important. If you read the Police Act, you discover that the IG is a very powerful officer. They need to amend the Police Act to accommodate the heads of the police of these states, who would now have a working relationship with the Inspector General of Police. So we are going to have Inspector General at every state. And this Inspector General would have a working relationship with the Federal Inspector General. So much work is expected. And what I would like to have from President Tinubu is to hasten the process by first sending an executive bill to the National Assembly demanding for the amendment of the Constitution to accommodate state policing.
All right.
And then at the same time, the National Assembly revisits the Police Act and handle the clauses that makes the IG the emperor of all the states, so that the limit there will be limit to his powers.
Okay.
He will only have a supervisory role this time around. So I think the process has to begin with the executive.
Okay. All right, let's still stay on insecurity, and let's go straight to Niger Delta with the Okwama-Oklobia crisis. Vanguard newspaper says Niger Delta leaders, stakeholders to federal government pull army out of Okwama, other Delta Bayelsa communities. And then the writers there says to relieve tense situation in oil region, want whoever killed or stole arms and ammunition from soldiers to quickly return them. Army urges the cooperation of communities to recover stolen rifles as Uhobo youth appeal against OD experience in Okwama. And last weekend, just this weekend rather, I had a conversation with one of their ex-militant leader, that's the president of the coalition of ex-Niger Delta agitators, and then he stated he talked about the genesis of the Okwama-Oklobia crisis, and how, according to him, he said they don't even as leaders in Niger Delta, they don't even know who exactly shot or killed the military people, which I actually don't accept or buy into that. But then And then I want to ask about the OD crisis. I hope this is not going to get that far. The OD crisis, I remember the Zakibiam crisis. And then he said, in fact, this one is even worse than the OD crisis because a lot of their community members they ran into the bush and they're still inside the bush because the military have now taken over the area. What exactly can be done to ameliorate the situation and then return these people back to their families and then ensure that justice still is done, and then the people that killed those military officers, because they're also families to people, and then they were sent on peacekeeping, whoever that did that should be caught? Because I remember he also, that's my guest also saying that how will the government say they sent military people to Niger Delta for peacekeeping and the traditional leaders are not even aware of their coming?
Well, again, it reminds us of the urgent need for a restructured Nigeria. You know, the traditional rulers are just mere ceremonial. We have taken away everything that belongs to them. They are only ceremonial leaders, whereas they are the landlords who should know what is happening and communicate to either the security agents or government, as it were. In Niger Delta today, don't forget that last Monday, okay, I was with your colleague here last Monday when I condemned the killing of the soldiers. After the condemning of the killing of the soldiers, I did put a caveat that we have not heard the last of the story behind the killing of the soldiers. But I am condemning because it is unpatriotic to kill soldiers who are trained to protect our territorial integrity. But stories that I am very familiar with about Niger Delta tells me that where the oil is, there is always some illegitimate businesses that goes on both from the citizens and those that are sent to protect the oil itself. Now, imagine stories clearly indicates that the soldiers may not have gone under the command or under the instruction of the command. There may have been arrangement to bring the soldiers to Okwama community for the interest of whoever that has influence over the soldiers. Now, we can never conclude what has happened, what has traversed between the 17 soldiers that were killed and the militants that are in the creek. So it is not safe for me to conclude that the people that killed the soldiers are not known. I don't think they are not known. There are militants in the creek, there's no doubt about that. There are local vigilantes in those communities around Delta, Bayelsa, and so on and so forth, that have interest in those who come to their community. They know that the military, the security agents, comes to that area for their businesses. You know, so they see them from that eyes of an enemy, not so much of those that have come to protect them.
All right, please hold your thoughts. Let's quickly take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
I'm calling from Lagos.
All right, go ahead, please.
Okay, I'm listening to this program.
Turn down the volume of your TV set so we can hear you, please.
Can you hear me now?
Turn down the volume of your TV set or move away from it.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
I know there's a program that we're seeing with Kaka television.
I'm so sorry, you have a lot of noise there. So before you call, please turn down the volume of your TV set or move away from where you have so much noise. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, so talking about what is happening in Okwama, you know that similar things have happened, maybe at a very low magnitude, in other communities in Bayelsa, in Delta, and even in Imo State. Truth is that oil is good. It's a great treasure, but it's evil also. Because just like opium in the life of people,
of the masses,
when the oil is well analyzed, you discover the evil it does appears to outweigh the good it gives us. There is nothing that is happening in Niger Delta that is not centered on oil. Bunkering, crude oil stealing, protecting those that steal, sharing the money. One warlord becomes the one that is feared in the community, and the soldiers come there, he spoils them with money, and they become loyal, in quote, to him. So the soldiers can now afford to take order from a civilian who has his feet on the ground and who can churn out good sum of money for the soldiers. These are the unwritten and untold story of the ongoings in Niger Delta. So Okoma, unfortunately, is being raised down. Okoma is under siege. Community members are running for their dear life. Military have invaded not just Okoma, but neighboring communities. So, what is going to be a lasting solution? Simple. When we talk about restructuring and when we call for true federalism, it gets into the wrong side of our leaders. They think you are coming to take away the milk that is feeding them, whereas you are calling them to take action that will stop issues like this. If Delta State is controlling the resources from their state, there will be less number of militancy in Delta State. There will be very few number of oil bunkering or stealing, because the people will take charge over the oil assets. But where you know that the Minister of Petroleum, the NNPC Managing Director, the operators of the oil wells are people from outside, and they are taking the money home, the people of Niger Delta will develop a way of making sure that they make their own court, and they see the military as enemies to themselves, who has come to protect, to guide, to nurture the business of those who are not from the area.
So that's the reason why you have them. They will tell you that how many, just the small bottle where we they steal, you know, be the problem. It is those people who are bringing in large bags that are the ones that are the problem that you should go after.
So, in fact, since 96 or 97, when citizens from Niger Delta were brought to Abuja to join the Abacha Continuity project, Niger Delta has not been the same again, and it will never be the same again. We'll continue to hear similar stories like this because the right thing has not been done. Get the resources to be controlled by the states, and the story will change.
All right. All right, let's quickly move straight to other stories. I'll ask you 2 questions and I'd like you to take them together. We'll first of all move to Abia State and talk about the Abia State Governor, Alex Oti. I was talking to someone yesterday and then the person just gave me one Bible scripture that said, can anything good thing come out of Abia? That's the formal language. Can any good thing come out of Abia? And then today they'll tell you, come and see Governor Alex Oti and see how things have changed in less than just 90 days or so. And then most people will tell you it means that we can actually make things possible in Nigeria. So it just depends on the kind of leaders we decide to pick up. So I have this story from Nigerian Tribune. It says, Serap to Tinubu, emulate OT, obey court judgment, stopping pensions to governors. And then some other persons will tell you, okay, why can't other governors just be like Governor Alex Oti? What are your thoughts in that regard? That's one on the side. And then secondly, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's 72nd birthday. He said he does not want any partying or any no loud noise, no partying anywhere. And in fact, I was so surprised when I picked up all the newspapers and they were so flat. Unlike before, you'd have seen them very bogus. In fact, you would have even lost most of these important stories or headlines. Everybody who just wants to celebrate, felicitate with the president one way or the other. But now because he said, please take those money to charity and then bless those who are in need. What are your thoughts on this?
Let me take up the president's birthday first by saying happy birthday to our president. Congratulations for is it 72nd?
So yes.
Don't mind those haters of president now say it's 80s and all that. So a birthday is a 1 day or 7 days event.
All right, please let's quickly take this call before you go ahead. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Good morning, Annabel. Good morning, guests in the house.
Good morning.
Good morning, KAFTAN TV.
I came from Lagos. Go ahead.
No, this is Fortune, please.
Oh, Fortune. Go ahead. Fortune in Abuja.
Thank you very much.
Go ahead.
I want my contribution goes to the topic about the abducted school children.
All right, please make it fast.
Yes, I want to commend the federal government for that. But I want to commend them not because there is something extraordinary that has happened, but I want to say that if there is something that Mr. President, that Tinubu has done that is very, very spectacular since he became president, is the boldness and the speech and the comment he made when Sheikh Gumi said that he needs that there must be a negotiation before the release of those children.
All right.
So I think after then there was this word that came out from the mouth of the president, which is we are not going to pay any ransom to any bandit. So, and he also said that the North should go, all the various governors should go and secure their territory. They should go and secure their state. I think by that singular word, the people who are financing this insecurity, because it is obvious there was never anybody who were kidnapped and there was never anybody who were rescued.
Right.
If we talk about rescue, there would have been a casualty, and in this case, there is no casualty. So they were released by the people who planned the kidnapping, which government, northern government, are complicit of. So I want to say that, you see, the same thing happened during Jonathan time, but the thing is that Jonathan lacked the courage of becoming. And here
unfortunately, we might have to let you go. Please land on your thoughts so that we.
Okay, all right. Let me just cut you short. At this juncture, I will just tell the northern leaders and their elites to please, they should stop politicizing the life of their people and stop using poverty as a tool to keep on perpetuating their leadership and their lineage.
All right, thank you so much.
On top of their people.
Thank you so much,
that's just
Fortune.
what I will say. Thank you very much for giving us this opportunity.
Great, thank you so much, Fortune. All right, please go ahead.
Yeah, so While congratulating the president, I make haste to say that cancelling congratulatory message and advising his well wishes to channel whatever they want to, or wambe they want to organize for him to the charity is a good gesture. But we should not allow that to distract us from judging the activities of this government. Is the president waking up from sleep for about the reality of hunger in the land that makes him to cancel his 72nd birthday? Is he not aware of this hunger when he made a bogus cabinet? What has changed about his style of governance that would help us stem down the hunger in the land? A more concrete action of government is required to judge the sincerity of the pain of the citizens in the heart of the president, not just one day cancelling of one day birthday activity. No. So for me, it looks like a welcome development. The president is very sensitive about what is happening. That sensitivity should reflect in the way the government is carrying out its responsibility, is discharging its duty. The number of appointees that the government is having. These are the areas that I'm looking at to help us judge how sensitive and how responsive he is towards the hunger that is in the land. Is there anyone that does not know that there's hunger in the land? Everyone knows that there's hunger in the land. Now, talking about my governor, Oti, I think this is the first time in my days as a media person I've used the word my governor. You know, my dear Annabel, I have been involved in politics and I grow lean each time I see what is happening in governance. It's supposed not to be so. We may not have enough, but we have enough to go around if we have good heads, good managers who can handle what we have. We can make our bitter lemons to lemonade if we have good managers who can handle it. Do you know that we don't need any Japan or China if we have a governor from Abia State who understands the treasure that is in Aba?
Great.
So, I'm from Abia State. From 1997 till the coming of Uti, I have struggled to make sure that the governor that is coming to govern my state is one with bright and good intention. It has never happened. So Oti has come and he has shown leadership. He has all the material to challenge not only the president but other governors, because people don't go to government because they know the challenges that are before them. They go there because it's a miracle. They feel that it is their turn. Other people have eaten. I listened to a deputy governor of my state, you know, about 10 years ago, as when he was it was a replacement. So he said he want to thank his predecessor. He called them and said, who has eaten and has now allowed me to eat my own turn. Oh, it looks rubbish. I felt like, is it for the purpose of eating that these people are doing this thing? So, Oti may as well eat. But because he is championing the cause that will impact positively on common citizens, not only that, but enlighten people of what governance is all about. It's even Oti's style of government should be a challenge to our president Tinubu.
Oh, really?
Yes, of course. Why would you want to protect your predecessor just because it is a system? He has taken away the pension of his predecessors, meaning he has stepped on the toes excuse me of his predecessors and wants the heaven to fall. He is in charge of Abia State, and no heaven will fall. So President Tinubu also should take a cue. He should go ahead and amend the constitution that provides for pension for presidents who have a mass accumulated treasures that their children cannot even finish. And yet we are paying them pension. For doing what? Buhari is among those that we should be receiving pension. So let the style of governance that is in Abia State today challenge President Tinubu to change his own style. Don't begin to protect those that were behind you. Otherwise, you can never get anything right.
Right. All right, so let's quickly see if we can take our last story before we end the program. This one, time is fast spent, but if you can help us in 1 minute. Kanu will soon be freed. Ohaneze assures Southeast youth. Are you optimistic about this?
It is just part of what I'm saying. If President Tinubu will be very sincere to himself, he knows agitators in the southwest. He knows agitators in the southeast. The southeast agitators are not different from the southeast agitators. The problem in Niger Delta today is that the people are agitating. Why are they agitating, for goodness sake? Once you handle why they're agitating, the tension will go.
All right.
Now, Kanu, why are they putting him in prison? No, they have no reason. What he was doing was saying, the way you are managing my region, I'm not happy with it. And he brought some boys that have turned to become terrorists now, along with him. These boys will not have become terrorists.
But then for him to say that he give me 2 minutes and he'll be able to curb the insecurity in the southeast, is that possible?
Oh, very, very possible.
Really?
Very, very possible. He has followership.
All right, let's leave it at that. Thank you so much, Obadiah Mbila, CEO, Lovewalk Media. It's always a pleasure having this talk with you.
Thank you so very much for always having me.